Regarding fire code, one of the issues in Hurricane and difficulties in getting an ordinance to pass was the idea that we had to meet commercial fire code.
Yeah.
So what is the model or ideas for complying with the fire code in a way that we can use the vacation rental? A lot of homes can house more than 10 people.
Right.
And yet the commercial code says you can't have more than 10 people unless you have fire sprinkler systems.
Right.
So how do you mitigate that?
So in Florida, which Florida has 100 million vacation rental homes, the hotel lobbies worked with the fire departments to try to implement fire sprinklers. And it went all the way to the Florida Supreme Court, in which they designated vacation rental homes as non-commercial residential use, and they did not require fire sprinklers.
So that's in Florida.
That was in Florida. The state of Washington did a similar ruling. So there's a lot of precedent of states saying, hey, this is not a commercial use in that same capacity. Yes, it's kind of like a home barbershop. You know, a home barbershop doesn't have to have the same requirements as a barbershop salon in a strip mall. And there's a way to make it work. The Entrada has the Inn at Entrada, which is a hotel. And they very desperately want Marriott to represent that hotel. But Marriott requires fire sprinklers. And the Inn at Entrada does not have fire sprinklers and would cost about $200,000 to implement. And so if the Inn at Entrada, which is a commercial enterprise at a resort, is not required to have fire sprinklers, I think that's a really good precedent. And there's a way to make it work. So the precedent right now is that sprinklers was shot down in Florida, and if it's shot down in Florida, it's pretty good precedent for the rest of the world, because they have the most tourism dollars per acre anywhere in the world, and they also have those stakeholders of the hotels and the vacation rentals who have come together to say, okay, we can't be enemies forever. This trick didn't work, so let's get together and make a way that works. Now, there are communities who interpret the International Building Code differently. Some of them say, you know, anything larger than 4 bedrooms and 8 occupants has to have sprinklers. Well, that's just going to drive people to go under the radar. It's too difficult to enforce those kinds of restrictive, you know, and illogical ordinances. So it's better to go out of the gate with something that's going to work than it is to work and get this passed and then have it do nothing.